Ineos already having discussions about parting ways with Zirkzee, according to reports. I think it's too soon to be having those discussions. Bayindir is set to start versus Manchester City. Lemens will not be making his debut, but do not worry. We're going to talk about who could potentially be playing versus Manchester City on Sunday. Lisandro Martinez to get a new contract offer. There was rumours of Barcelona in for him. There's now rumours of United willing to give him a new contract. I like Lisandro Martinez, but let's wait until he's back from injury and played a little bit before giving out any new contracts because he is injury prone. We're going to talk about Onana feeling he's forced out, more on that. Manchester United do plan more midweek matches to make more money. We're going to talk about Bruno Fernandes and, of course, Malacia, the squad for next season. And could Malacia now be involved next season? So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup show, where we're going to be rounding up all the latest Manchester United news in the next 10 minutes for you guys, starting with this story on Zirkzee. Now, I do apologise for the bleeping there. My phone went off very loudly. But it was said, according to Team Talk. Now, I don't think Team Talk is the best source of information, so I always do call it take with a pinch of salt sort of information. But it was says that Manchester United are open to parting ways with Joshua Zirkzee. A summer transfer appears most likely, though a January move isn't completely off the table. So this is coming from Team Talk that we're open to parting ways with Zirkzee. Now, I like Joshua Zirkzee. I'm a big fan of Joshua Zirkzee. I think he's got such a unique skill set, and I would love to give Joshua Zirkzee time at Manchester United. But of course, if he doesn't have a good season this year and he's not showing enough this season, of course, next summer we have to talk about offloading Joshua Zirkzee. You've got 2 years to prove yourself or you're out. There's Manchester United standards there. While I don't think Team Talk is the best source of information, I do think with the way that Ineos have operated with Onana and Højlund being sold, if they're not impressed with you after 2 seasons, I think they will consider parting ways with you. I don't think Zirkzee or Ugarte right now are 100% safe. I think Yoro's done enough, De Ligt's done enough, Mazraoui's done enough to buy themselves more time. But I'm not sure about Yoro and Zirkzee yet. I thought Zirkzee looked really good the back end of last season when he came back and he showed what he could do. And I do like Joshua Zirkzee and I would like him to stay and I'd like him to succeed. But if he doesn't have a good season, I think, Ineos could be open to parting ways with him if Amorim is as well. That could be something that could be discussed. He's not 100% safe. The player's happy at Man United. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to make it work. We saw good enough signs from Joshua Zirkzee at the back end of last season to give him a bit of time. I think he'll need a run of games. He's just come back from an injury. But we know with Ineos, they are open to parting ways with many players. And if the right offer comes into Zirkzee, they may consider it. I don't see Zirkzee going in January. I hope he doesn't go in January. I hope that Zirkzee has a good season. I think with the injuries to Cunha and Mount, I think Zirkzee could start versus Manchester City. It might be Sesko, it might be Zirkzee. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Continuing on. Ruben Amorim says Altay Bayindir will start against Manchester City on Sunday. Also, Cunha, Mount and Dalot are unavailable because of injury. So some people are already freaking out. Why buy Lemens if you're not going to start him? Why buy Lemens if you're not going to start him? Look, I think Lemens will eventually be the starting keeper, but he's just come in the door. Throwing him in against Manchester City, it's a big thing to do. I would like to see Lemens start versus Manchester City, to be honest, because Bayindir does not make me confident. Bayindir on corners, I think City have a goal coming through Bayindir playing. I personally would rather start Lemens at the weekend, but I completely understand why Amorim will start Bayindir and why he will ease in Lemens, take the pressure off Lemens. So I think Bayindir is going to start. Amorim says Bayindir is going to start. And look, that doesn't mean Bayindir is going to be the starting keeper throughout the whole season. We're never going to see Lemens. I think in a couple of games' time, we'll see Lemens. I think Amorim is just slowly moulding him in. Now, there's 3 big injury blows because Dalot, Mount and Cunha are big injury blows. Now, the reason the reason Cunha amount of big injury blows in particular is because they both play in the same position. If Cunha's injured, it's fine. Mount could be our left 10. But now Cunha and Mount are both injured. Both our left 10 options are injured. So we could play Ahmad left 10, but now Dalot can't play right wing back because Dalot's injured. So maybe you do Mazraoui right wing back. Bruno can go 10. I think we're going to see Bruno in the 10. I think we're going to see Mbeumo in the other 10. And I think we're going to see one of Zirkzee or Sesko up top. And then maybe Ahmad goes right wing back. Or we're going to see Ahmad and Mbeumo in the 10s with Mazraoui right wing back and Bruno playing deeper in the pivot. It'll be interesting to see what we do. Obviously, Mount and Cunha being injured at the same time as Dalot also injured, but hopefully they're back soon. Also, just like the men's not starting, a lot of people have been crying that Sesko hasn't been starting. He's been in 3 games. He's not trained. Like, I'm not worried about Sesko not starting yet. I'm not worried about Lemens not starting versus Manchester City. It's still early days. We're still in September, and I do think there's a bit of an overreaction about certain players not starting. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Manchester United want to discuss a new contract with Lisandro Martinez once he returns from injury. So, obviously, lots going on at United. There's rumours of Zirkzee leaving. There's rumours of new contracts for Lisandro Martinez. There's sort of secret plans to plan pre-season, not pre-season friendlies during the season to make more money. We'll talk about that. There's a lot going on at Manchester United right now. Lisandro Martinez was linked with a move to Barcelona. They have interest in him. They want a left-sided centre-back. I like Leach. I think when Leach is fit, he's a good player. I think he's got a good attitude. I think he's got a good mindset. And I think if it wasn't for injuries, Leach would have been one of our most important players over the last few years. I think he's a fantastic player. And I thought that the last few games under Amorim before he got injured, he looked really good. I think he'll come back from injury. He'll need a few games coming back from injury to get up to the level that he was at. I think he'll need a few games coming back from injury as well. But I wouldn't be giving him a new contract just yet. You know, he's too, like, as much as I like Lisandro Martinez, he's too injury prone to be giving out a new contract to, in my opinion. But it's definitely a player that potentially, if he comes back and he plays 3-4 months and doesn't get injured, you'd probably want to give a new contract to. Because he is good, he's a leader. Now, one player that was a problem, and we've heard a lot about Onana, we've heard a lot of reports about Onana, and I'm kind of bored of talking about it. But Lucas has added some more information on Onana and how Onana decided to leave and was forced out in the whole situation. United players felt it would have been a problem if Onana had not secured a move following the signing of Lemens. Now, according to Samuel Luckhurst, who does like to stir the pot, who is a bit of a shit stirrer, I think, when it comes to football and Manchester United news, he's saying that players think it would have been a problem if Onana did not leave with the signing of Lemens. Because Onana was second choice behind Bayendier with a belief that he would get his first choice spot back. Now Lemens has come in, Onana's become third choice, and Onana's finally accepted maybe I should go because I need minutes. Now, Onana was adamant he'd stay at United. He wanted to stay at United and all of that. However, his performance versus Grimsby was awful, and the fact that he's no longer first-team keeper Bayendier is because he's played the 3 Premier League games, sort of helped Onana change his mind and say, you know what, I'm going to go. But sources are saying that Onana himself felt forced out. There's been reports this week that Onana felt like a scapegoat. He felt forced out. But you know what? I have no sympathy with Onana. He was forced out, and he may feel like a scapegoat, but Onana was forced out because he was not good enough for us. That's why Onana was forced out. So that is the latest on Andre Onana then. I want to talk about some other news because United seem to be planning some secret friendlies. Man United are in talks to play a series of lucrative midweek friendlies in order to fill the gaps, the gaping voids left by their lack of European football. With 11 midweeks to 3 before Christmas, it could boost their finances for the summer window. So yeah, reports are coming out that Manchester United are going to schedule maybe midweek friendlies in at the UEA, or is it UEA? United Arab Emirates, like Dubai, Qatar. Man United might schedule in some friendlies. Now, to be honest, considering we went out the Carabao Cup so quickly, I'm not against scheduling 2 or 3 friendlies in the Middle East just to get a few more minutes in the legs, or there might be less rotation, or to give the young ones some minutes. I'm not against that. It could raise 6-7 million extra for our summer transfer window. As embarrassing as a post-season tour was, it did raise us a nice amount of money. It could raise us a bit of money, and with us not being in the Carabao Cup, I think to have a couple of friendly training games midweek could be good. The only issue is if we go out midweek because it's going to make us money, and we're going to do some friendlies because it's going to make us money, and then the players get injured, it's not worth the money we make. Maybe it's something we go out and do and we play some of the lesser players and then we give some of the higher players a certain amount of minutes. I do think to have a few more games instead of midweek could be good at this starting point of the season to get match sharpness and get match fitness there. But is it worth the money if a player gets injured? That is the big question. But I think if you scheduled like 2 in, it could be worth it. But I don't think there's any point scheduling like multiple in. And in terms of other news, I wanted to give a shout out to Bruno, the following player, the player with the most chances created in the Premier League in the following seasons. Bruno, and right now, currently Bruno. Bruno is the best chance creator in the Premier League, and I think Bruno is wasted in the pivot. I think Bruno's had some really good games in the pivot where he can dictate play and he has the ball recoveries. But I actually would like to see Bruno in the 10 versus Manchester City because we probably do have the best chance creator in football right now. We're just not seeing it as much because he's playing deep. And even when playing deep, he's still number 1. Going into our final story, Manchester United have submitted their squad for the 25-26 season. Bayendier, Heaton, Lamens and Mee are the goalkeepers. Bennett, Delot, De Ligt, Maguire, Malacia is in the squad. Martinez, Mazraoui and Luke Shaw are the defenders. So that says to me there's a possibility Malacia will stay. Casemiro, Bruno, Mount and Agate are the midfielders. Where's Maino? Oh, I guess because he's an academy player, we don't have to technically put him in. And Ahmad, Cunha, and Bumo, Sesko, and Zirkzee the other forwards. I guess I think with Maino, he still counts as an academy player. So United have registered the players for their squad. And as United faithful said here, Tyrone Malacia named in the Premier League squad. That might not work out well for him because I don't see him getting opportunities, but particularly when playing once a week. But it could be a hint that he's staying. I think Malacia is staying because he's not finding the right move for him. I don't see him playing many minutes. I think if we're in the Carabao or in Europe, he could get minutes. I don't think he's going to get many minutes, but he could. It does look like Malacia is staying. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.